From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro, lights, camera, action. Action, action, action. Let's go. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Thursday night edition of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains, worldwide brotherhood, and the lives they are changing all over the world, except tonight. That's right. That's normally the side note, the moniker, the phrase, the catchphrase for this here podcast. But tonight, it's going to be a little something different. Partly due to my fault, partly due to scheduling issues. But hey, that's what happens when you run a weekly show, boys and girls. It is June the 2nd, the first episode of June 2022. It is episode 137. We are here live. And as I said, usually, well, every single episode, I open things up by saying, welcome to The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains, worldwide brotherhood, and the lives they are changing all over the world. And usually, 99.9% of the time, that's what we're going to talk about. Something that our brothers are doing, something that our chapters are doing. But we're not going to be completely focused on that today because we're going to do something a little bit different. Just something fun. We're still in that kind of limbo spot. And we've got some big events and many events coming up over the next several months. Unfortunately, as you know, one of the things I like to try to do is promote different chapters, different guys' events in the weeks leading up to said event. Unfortunately, old BP here got a little busy and got a little sidetracked and got in his head, and I had all sorts of stuff going on in the last week and a half or so that I've been focusing my brain energy on, and I don't have a whole lot of it, as most of you know. So I've been focusing on a lot of different things, and I just kind of lost track of the calendar and when things were coming up. And so I was not able to arrange in adequate time. This is completely on me. Enough time to schedule interviews for guys so that we could talk about the upcoming 2 events that are coming up in a week and a half from now. Well, almost 2 weeks. Well, I guess not this weekend, but the next weekend. So however you want to call that. But that's the weekend that we have Knox Villains, and we also have of the big events that are coming up here in the States anyway. Knox Villains and the West Coast meet simultaneously. The ones that are going to be attended by hundreds of people. And I know that those are the things that you guys want to hear about. Well, I failed you. So next week's episode is going to be a doozy because I will have interviews regarding both the West Coast meet and Knox Villains is the plan, but not this weekend. So I had to kind of pivot. And there's this kind of idea that's been stirring up in me to do occasionally, and maybe even to, if you guys like it, let me know after the show. If you guys like this idea that I'm come up with, or what I want to do is maybe incorporate parts of this into the regular show occasionally, if it is deemed worthy. So tonight, we're just going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to be talking about crazy, weird news stories that we've come across. And I put kind of a late little feeler out there into the Instagram world, asking guys, what are some interesting or funny, weird stories, news stories that you may have come across in the last several weeks. And it's every once in a while you get somebody, of course, with political answers that what are you going to do? But that's neither here nor there. But every once in a while you come across some really fun stories, and not really necessarily fun, but can you really believe that actually happened type of story? And so we're going to cover a couple of those tonight. In addition to our normal merch stuff that we're going to do, we don't have any specific huge chapter related news, so that's not really in the plans for the night. So I don't really know where it's going to take us, but we'll see. We'll see, right? That's where this is going to go. So we'll just see where the night takes us and have a little bit of fun with it. And happy June 2nd, everybody. I do want to say hello and happy Thursday to those of you who are here with us live. All of us here. Franks and Beans is in the house, hanging out. Raven says, evening. Evening, he says. I'm trying to bring this here into the broadcast. There we go. Evening. Big Mike is here saying, what is up? There's our Frank and Beans. And let's see who else we had in the house here. Big Mike, I already mentioned. Ed, co-captain, my co-captain. What is up, guys? Good times, good times. Mr. One Feather, Wayne, how you doing tonight? We are well. We are well. Let's see. Mars is hanging out with us as well. Good evening, Mars. I have some information about a new launch from his chapter coming up. Mr. Ramsey's in the house as well. How you doing? How you doing, Dave? Get out there and buy those new Chattanooga patches, boys and girls. We get to see Mr. Ramsey. That's right, Ed. In 8 more days. It's going to be a good time. South Bearded Rebo BVRM. I love shouting out the whole name. Hey, y'all, what's up? Guys, it's been a good time. It's been a good time. Been a whirlwind, as I mentioned here in the comments section the last little bit here. I think Santa Graybeard misspelled his. I know that's what he goes by, so I think he misspelled it. But it's Sanra Graybeard. So, Robert, if you get a chance, you might want to change that name. K-Mac BVNC is in the house waving at us as well. Reverend Nick, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Keep it moving. Good to see you here. Donnie is here with us as well. Donnie's shouting out with the big bling that the BVNI chapter ring is in his picture emoji profile there. Good to see you. Good to see you. And Silky Smooth is here with us as well. Boy, we've got a full house. I love to see it. Good to see all you guys here. All right. So, as I told you, I kind of already told you what the plan is for the night. Again, if you don't know who I am, I'm BP, host of The Heart of a Villain. And we're going to get into a couple of chapter merch things, and then we're just going to scroll right through. I got a couple funny news stories I want to cover. And one of the Bearded Irishman, he commented when I spouted out my question to everybody asking, hey, what's a funny news story? I said, what's the craziest news story you've heard lately? His response is, a lady stealing Nintendo Switch controllers. Okay. That's interesting-ish. I don't know if that's on the crazy end of things, but hey, people are stealing stuff. It's two things really since post-COVID. We've noticed, if you've been paying attention to the world, two things going on in the world specifically. Other than all the horrific incidents that are going around, but two things involving people. People be stealing stuff. People are thieving bastards all over the place, just taking stuff. And the other thing that's been going on that people are just kind of pent up anger for. There's a lot of people just going around smacking people, punching people. They are not afraid. Something about COVID, everybody got released, and there's a lot of that going on every day. You see somebody having a fight or something with somebody else, and it's almost always in some public forum. Kind of crazy how all that stuff ensues. But guys, I want to get into some chapter merch, because we do have some new stuff that's come out in the last week that I do want to make sure I get to. So let's get into some chapter merch. Okay, chapter merch. So the first thing I have, and I've got a whole litany of stuff here. So get your papers, get your pens, and remember that if you ever watched the TV show, when you this is going to totally date me. Back in the day, there was a TV show called Captain Kangaroo, and on Captain Kangaroo, every time I tell people get their pens and pencils out, I remember the little jingle that part of the show had. And in part of the show, there was this little segment called Picture Pages. Anybody remember that? Captain Kangaroo had picture pages in there. And the little jingle that went along with that segment was told everybody to get your time to get your crayons and your pencils. So I say pens and pencils, but it was for kids, so they don't tell people pens. It was crayons and pencils. Anyway. So let's get those crayons and pencils and pens out so you can write down some of this stuff, jot it down so you're ready for merch. First thing up, I mentioned this last week, but I want to make sure everybody knows about it because we didn't have a whole lot of people live with us last week. So Bearded Villains, SOMD, Southern Maryland, they have a new patch and T-shirt come out, and it is a pre-order. It's available at BV. SOMD, BV SOMD. They got their 2-year anniversary red shield for $10, and their Villains Assemble shirt. It's in the very cool the very cool font from the Avengers, it looks like. It says Villains on the front, Assemble on the back. $25 for that shirt. BVSOMD.com is where you can grab that bad boy. Next up on our list, Chattanooga. I mentioned this. Dave Ramsey's in the house. The Chattanooga BV patch. Hopefully there's still some more of those around. I'm hoping that I'm going to be getting one from Dave in person, because it means so much more that way. In person next week. BV. It's not BV anymore. Smoky Mountains Big Cart. Oh, guys, it's tonight. Smoky MTN Villains.bigcartel.com. Remember, the Smoky Mountain chapter is hosting the sale of this patch, this first patch for the time being, for the Chattanooga boys, Chattanooga BV patch, their first patch, and the first one's the one you want to get most, because it's not usually going to be made again. It's the first edition, just like it is. So Smoky MTN Villains.bigcartel.com, $12 for that badass patch. Bearded Villains Chicago, raising money for American Cancer Society walk they got coming up. They've got their BVACS 2022 walk and roll shirt pre-order, and their patch pre-order. Their patch is $12, but you can get it with a shirt for $24.99. Awesome stuff, guys. Has the F ribbon CK Cancer on the front, and then a super sweet logo on the back. The patch is badass. Grab those things. Reach out to those Chicago boys, the BVC boys, on Instagram for further information. Then also, I think there's still some of these out here, but if there, I would really hope that they're not. I would love for these to be sold out. But the Pennsylvania East chapter raising some money for their brother, for one of their own, another chapter, their warrior patch for Ty. Pennsylvania Villains East.bigcartel.com, their warrior patch for Ty. That's where you're going to get it. Pennsylvania Villains East.bigcartel.com. Also mentioned this a few times before, Bearded Villains Scotland. I just checked, and it's still on their site today, so it should still be active. It's a patch that's a redone version of their chapter patch, but it's in honor, kind of an memoriam patch of their very first chapter captain, Brian Tate. So it says in memory of Brian Tate on it. It's 10 pounds looks like. Bearded Villains Scotland is where you want to go to get that. BeardedVillainsScotland.com is where you can grab one of those guys. Also, I mentioned this before, Bearded Villains NSW, raising money for charity down there with their kind of graffiti lettered hashtag BVNSW patch in a bright blue. $15 is where you can get that thing. Hit up BVNSW for further details on that bad boy. Next up, Richmond. This is a sad one, but I don't know. I've heard that they are selling well, or maybe they're gone. I don't know. I don't know if anybody live can tell me if they're out. I didn't get a chance to double check on these, but if they're out, then that's awesome because that means that they sold out to the family. But their brother recently just passed away. The RAP Smooth chapter, Richmond Villains patch, with his date of birth and the date he passed away, 1987 to 2022, available for through the Richmond Villains site, bvrichmond.bigcartel.com. Proceeds, all of them go to the family on that one. Next up, we have the North Georgia Bearded Villains. You don't get this one very. North Georgia kind of holds onto that merch. But when they release it, it comes a flying. Operation Rally Point, their shirt. This is their Dawg Days of Summer 2022 shirt. It's available for sale till June 19th. Along with their kind of OD colored patch. It looks like this is all going to veterans charities. Combo with the patch and the shirt, $30. The shirt alone is $25. They don't have a specific price for the patch alone. Maybe you can only get it in the combo. I'm not sure on that. But both of them are pretty dang awesome, man. You want to grab one of those Dawg Days of Summer patch and shirt, North Georgia Bearded Villains. Next up in our merch stream, we've got the Bearded Villains Peru shirts. Love those international shirts. Bearded Villains Peru shirt. And this is only $20 plus shipping, but there is a slight little caveat, not available for those of us in the larger sizes. So sadly, it's only available up to a 2X, I've been told. So no soup for us. Those of us that are the bigger boys can't wear merch for Peru. I guess, I don't know if it's like state law, no big boys down there. I don't know what. I wish we could. That'd be a pretty fun shirt to have, but no soup for us. But if you're up to a 2X, grab one of those shirts. Next up, just got this little fine detail today from the Lakeshore Villains. Mars sent this to me. Lakeshore Villains has a summer sale. A summer sale? What? Yes. They always have so many different things on their actual website, but now they've got a Lakeshore Vibes summer sale going on with tank tops, looks like, available in multiple colors. It drops this Friday at noon Eastern. That's tomorrow, right? Am I right on that? Tomorrow? Yeah. Tomorrow. Drops tomorrow, noon Eastern. LakeshoreVillains.com. Want to get out there and grab some of that summer vibe, the Lakeshore vibes. Get yourself some of that. It looks like it's going to be good stuff to have for sure. Let's see if I've got anything else going on here. Nope. Looks like that's it. On the chapter merch end, let's see. That's it, guys. So if you have any questions or if I missed you on chapter merch for some reason, I do apologize. Just make sure you send something to me so I know all about it. All right. So that was the chapter merch segment of our program. Now, don't have any new updates from anybody on any new news stories that they've come across in the last, say, few days. Any fun news stories that they've come across. Let's see. I just got another one. Mike Dove telling me a woman is currently suing McDonald's for stuffing her children's fish sandwich with bacon. Okay, now that classifies as weird, I think. Why? Now, I understand. We are the land of We are the land of free opportunity to sue for whatever you could possibly imagine. But I've never been one of those sue. Even if legitimately you would have maybe legitimate reason to do so, I just think we live in a society of nothing is accident anymore, and nothing is laughable anymore. And we can't, for the last, say, 20 years or so, you can't offend anybody, even if it's true, whatever you're telling somebody. If they're offended by something that you believe in, or you're offended, we live in this world now where anything that can be done against anybody, somebody now has to sue for something. Can't just like water under the bridge. Can't just brush it off. Somebody has to do something else. Now, I don't have the full story here. Maybe there's some allergy thing going on there and it was a health issue. If that's the case, then I understand legitimately being upset. I don't know why. I've had many hey, look at me. I've had many filet of fish sandwich from McDonald's, right? I've had a few, and never once have they ever put bacon in it or stuffed it with bacon. That actually sounds kind of good. Am I the only one that thinks maybe I might ask for that next time I try to get one? If you go to fast food restaurants, occasionally you're going to get something wrong anyway. I don't know. That seems pretty intentional to put bacon there. So I don't know what that is all about. Maybe I'll have to maybe Google search that one. No idea where that's coming from, but strange it is. But there's not a whole lot that bacon doesn't improve. And even though the bacon at McDonald's ain't the best bacon, it's still bacon. Maybe just maybe that might be something to have. I'd try it once. I'd definitely try it once. I went to that. Anybody ever see the, I completely agree. I completely agree. Everything is better with bacon. Yes. Nick, I don't know. Nick says, why would anyone get mad about bacon? Like I said, I have no idea. The only thing I can imagine is that maybe it's an allergy or something like that. I don't know. Maybe there's a personal conflict between this specific woman and her local McDonald's. I don't know. But, yeah, bacon. Yeah. Why would you get upset with bacon? Even our dogs love bacon, Silky. He says. Yeah. I don't know. I even went to, if you ever watched that TV show Bar Rescue, there was an episode of it that aired several years ago now, where they remodeled a bar in Las Vegas, and they remodeled it they called it the Bacon Bar, and everything was either like bacon infused, or even the drinks, the mixed drinks had some sort of a bacon topper or a piece of bacon or something in it, and it was really amazing. Well, I think it was the last trip or the 2 trips ago that we went to Vegas. I said, that is a destination location for me. I want to go there. So the wife and I went to the Bacon Bar. We found it, and it was so cool. Not only was it cool to go to something that you actually got to witness the TV version of when they made it, and that was a cool thing to see, but to see it in person, but to sit in there and enjoy. The sad thing is I had some sort of a bacon infused appetizer. I didn't want to do any of the mixed drinks. I wasn't in a mixed drink mood that day, so I just had regular beers. But if I remember correctly, we had a couple of fun bacon flavored or bacon styled appetizers, but very cool. Just a big shout out, Bacon Bar. If it's still around, still in business in Vegas, got to go see it. So, all right. Well, I'm going to take a sip here. All right, moving on here. I came across a couple of news stories that I just thought were kind of crazy. And one of them's was in the news mostly last year, I guess, but it only came up because it resulted in further updated news this year, the spring of this year, I guess. But it was just kind of weird. So if you're a loyal viewer of this program here, I just ask for your patience that no, we're not focusing on BV tonight. We're just having a fun Thursday night. And if you're listening to this on a regular podcast platform, you're probably thinking, what in the world is going on with BP? Just a step away from normal tonight, guys, and just covering something interesting for the night. So hopefully you'll be back if you decide to leave. Hopefully you'll be back next weekend, next week when we're talking about a few of our events, talking with our brothers. But it was very interesting that I came across this situation with these news stories. And so I just have to go in here and mention this. So the first news story that I came across was odd because you always hear of people coming up with excuses, sometimes very bad excuses, sometimes very elaborate excuses why they need to be off work, why they need time off work. Well, last year, this woman in Georgia took it to an extreme, I think, to try and make sure that she had time off work, and that's basically what it came down to. So this is the first of my two stories that I just wanted to talk to you guys about. Maybe get some feedback in the comments section. We'll see. But I just thought it was kind of funny. So this Georgia woman named Robin Folsom, she went one step further than most, right? When she decided she faked a pregnancy in order to get 7 weeks off paid time. In order to get 7 weeks off maternity leave, basically. She faked a pregnancy. And the funny thing is, as they come to find out, it wasn't even the first time that she did this. It wasn't even the first time she lied about giving birth. Now, I mean, say what you will, but it sounds like there might be something going wrong upstairs, or maybe she's just that crazy for the OT. She just needs the time off. I don't know. But because of this, now she's facing 3 counts of making false statements and 1 count identity fraud down in Georgia. So this here's Robin, and I came across this news story and I thought, wow, look at that smile. She looks happy. Probably right after she got news that she'd get her time off, right? She told, so here's the background on this issue. She told elaborate lies about her pregnancy while working, get this, at a government agency in Georgia. She was working for a government agency. She was working for as the director of external affairs for Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency. She informed this agency about her pregnancy and claimed that she gave birth later that year. But during the pregnancy, some of her colleagues became a little suspicious of her baby bump. Now you might ask, why is that? How elaborate was this? Well, one of her colleagues noticed that her baby bump, there was something not quite right about it. A coworker observed the lower portion of Folsom's stomach come away from her body. It separated itself from the body. And they believed that she was wearing a fake pregnant stomach. I mean, some people, guys, some people. She appeared very motivated. She was very motivated to get her time off. After she gave birth, as this story reads, she had an accomplice email the people that her leaders at her agency. So now we've gotten somebody else involved in this. The supposed father of said child. This guy claims to be the father, says that she has a newborn baby, and that the doctor mandated several weeks of rest following delivery. Following delivery. As a result, her superiors obviously had to kind of give in, and they gave her 7 weeks off, paid leave, paid time, that otherwise obviously would not have been approved. I mean, to tell you guys. So, sadly for her, good luck getting a job anywhere else now. But after lying to the investigators on the existence of her many children, plural, as I said, this was not the first time. She resigned from her position, but now she's facing criminal charges because she was indicted by a grand jury earlier this year. I mean, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yes, exactly. Nick, you're very correct. Way to commit. Way to commit to the role. We've always heard about actors who truly commit to what their role is, right? This is a way to commit for sure. So I don't know what you guys doing down there in Georgia, but you're starting to turn out like the people in Florida. Seems like we're always getting stories about Florida. Can you believe this is happening? No, it's Florida. Well, welcome to the club, Georgia. Welcome to the club, Georgia. Okay, this next story, my next and final story for the evening, guys, that will hopefully make you laugh just as much as it did me. It's not here in the States, but if you travel, this is kind of a cautionary tale, and it's kind of a plea from a government in a country that is asking people to stop doing something. So this one was interesting, to say the least. So on Facebook, this is in Cambodia. The Cambodian government recently put out a very odd but very urgent request. After seeing photos of young women posing on social media with very ultra rare phallic shaped plants, the Ministry of Environment, I'm sorry, these pictures are just too much. The Ministry of Environment has asked them to please stop. Please stop. Not because they look bad, but apparently they're endangering the future existence of what these are being called the penis plant. I didn't know such a thing existed. I've never been to Cambodia, but yeah. So stop picking the penis plant, people. And if you go to Cambodia, don't pick a penis plant just to make some sort of Instagram post showing you with the penis plant in hand, I guess. The ministry wrote, what they are doing is wrong. So please don't do it again in the future. Okay, this picture's even better. I mean, come on. Oh, you guys. The ministry came back and said, thank you for loving natural resources, but don't harvest them so it goes to waste. The plants in question are, I can't even pronounce their official plant name, but it is what's considered to be a pitcher plant, Pitcher, sometimes called a penis plant or penis fly traps. You guys, a penis fly trap. I don't know if it actually opens up and closes on something. That's not very penile about it, but These penis plants are sometimes confused with an even rarer plant that also grows in Cambodia. They didn't name that one, thank the Lord. They're primarily found southwest mountain ranges and are critically endangered, boys and girls. Critically endangered, according to the Cambodian Journal of Natural History. Stop picking the penis plants, people. The plants have a fun appearance, but picking them is incredibly damaging to their survival. If people are interested, okay. Oh, these comments coming in our comment section is awesome. Everybody wants to go on the road now suddenly. BV World Meat 2023, pics with the penis plants, yeah. He said wood meat, but I know that's what you meant, world meat, yeah. They are penis fly traps. They are the fly traps, that's right. Ty says, on the road. Cambodian style, yes. Hey, look at that. Radar comes in. Penis plants. What the hell did I just turn into? Is this like BP After Dark? See what happens when you come in late, Radar? Radar, just so you know, we're not doing BV talk tonight. We're not doing BV talk tonight. We are doing fun, weird news stories, and you just missed everything. So this was my final news story of the night. Talking about penis plants in Cambodia, yes, that I came across. People are taking them. Can you believe it, Radar? People are stealing them. They're picking these plants. They're endangered. That's right, Ty. Don't be a dick. Stop pulling on them. That's right. Don't pull on them. Stop bobbiting. Don't bob at the penis plants, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? But hey, you are taking, by doing this, people, you are taking away other people's opportunity to enjoy the penis plant in the future. You can't take people's penis plant away for the future. The future of penis plants depends on you. Stop picking them. Even if they look like this. Even if they look like this. If people are interested, this comes from the ministry again, even in a funny way, if people are interested to pose, make selfies with the plants, it's fine, they say. They're not worried about you photographing them. Just do not pick them because it weakens the plant. And the plant needs these penises to feed. This is the part of the plant that feeds the plant. It's the reproductive part of the plant, boys and girls. Basically, it's what feeds the plant. So it only makes sense, right? But hey, stop picking it. Stop picking it. Don't yank them. That's right. You can't yank on the penis plant, guys. If you love and admire, the final thing that they said on this matter, if you love and admire these beautiful plants, you should leave them be. Leave them on the trees so other tourists can see their beauty and biodiversity. So stop picking on the penis plants, guys. That's right. Donnie's right. Only you can prevent premature endangerment. Yes. Do we need to use the bear voice for that one? Only you can prevent premature endangerment. Yes. So, guys, penis plants, they're a thing. They're a thing. And We'll try to get the triplicate here. Try and get all three of them. There we go. Cover up my face. There we go. I don't know. That's a thing. And the penis plant is real. In Cambodia, just stop picking and yanking on them. Don't tear them. Leave them there. If you want to touch them gently while they're in place so that they can live on. And guys, hey, that's all the news I've got tonight. We're talking fake pregnancies to get time off. We're talking yanking on the penis plants in Cambodia. It's been a fun news cycle, I guess, right? Next week, we're going to be back to our normal stuff, I assure you. And I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me here on episode 137, talking some fun news stories. I wish I had better news for you than my freaky mind tonight. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. Hey, Radar, ask and ye shall receive, right? He just got done. Right before I played that ad, he said, "Where's the Pulpo beard oil ad when you need it?" Well, right there. Just in time. He says, "Oh, shit, I was just messing around." Yeah, right. Perfect. That's what it's all about, man. Timing is everything in this business, right? Well, guys, we've got a few things to enjoy on our calendar of events. So let's just scroll right into it here. If for some reason, as I always tell you, if I'm missing one of your events, it's because you didn't tell me about it. So let's kick things off video style. All right, coming up next weekend, and I'm going to have interviews covering both of these for episode 138. It's going to be a jam-packed next week episode. June 10th through the 12th, the West Coast meet in Seattle, Washington, brought to you by the West and East Washington Bearded Villain chapters. West Coast meet, brought to you by the West Washington, East Washington. It's in Seattle, Washington. It's going to be a good time. West Coast meet June 10th through the 12th. That same weekend, June 10th through the 12th, Knox Villains, hosted, of course, in Knoxville, Tennessee, by the Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains, or as they now go by, the Smoky Mountain Villains. Smoky Mountain Villains. Knoxville, Tennessee. It's going to be a good time. That's where I will be next weekend. Also, that same weekend, June 11th, in London, that's right, boys and girls, in London, Villain Fest 5, hosted by the Bearded Villains London chapter. It's at Gigi's Hoxton. That's the Villain Fest 5, June 11th, hosted by Bearded Villains London. Moving further into the month, the following week, everybody get it up for, get your penis plants up, for the Great Lakes meet up in Minnesota. Get all the way up north for the Great Lakes meet, hosted by the Bearded Villains Minnesota. It's in Stillwater, Minnesota. They have a Friday night meet and greet. Saturday beard competition. Should be a blast. I'm hoping to make that as well. It's going to be a busy, busy month. Bearded Villains Minnesota, Stillwater, Minnesota for the Great Lakes meet, June 17th and 18th. Also, I forgot to mention the previous weekend. The same weekend as West Coast meet, Knox Villains, and Villain Fest is the Bearded Villains Indiana, in Indianapolis. They're celebrating their 7-year anniversary with a party. Party weekend. It's the June 11th, I believe. BVIN, Bearded Villains Indiana, 7-year anniversary. Hit them up for further details on that. Then after June, we get into, of course, July. And this one is going to be in Canada, eh? Up in Canada. Beards for Bucko. I'm going to be there. My first official, even though it's not really, it's truly technically an international event for me. So I'm excited. First international meet, even though it's just like a 7-hour car drive. Beards for Bucko, hosted by the Bearded Villains Toronto, OSW, and Lakeshore chapters. 3 Canadian chapters coming together to bring you Beards for Bucko, July 8th through the 10th. Fort Erie is what I've been told. Fort Erie. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. The awesome time. Beards for Bucko, July 8th through the 10th. That same weekend, the Blackshire Villains over in the UK are hosting Ramfest. I need to get like a fancy promo for that when I say that. Ramfest. July 9th, the Blackshire Villains are hosting it. I don't have any specific details on that right now, but hey, Blackshire boys, send something to me so I can get some information out to everybody. July 9th is when Ramfest is. Then the following weekend, July 16th is Beards and Brews, hosted by the ENC boys. The ENC chapter, apparently it's the ENC's 5-year anniversary party. Their 5-year anniversary party. Beards and Brews, July 16th. Then the weekend of July 23rd to the 22nd. I'm sorry. See, I'm just off tonight. July 22nd to 23rd. I can't do backwards dating. July 22nd to 23rd is the Dawg Days of Summer. The Dawg Days of Summer, hosted by the North Georgia Bearded Villains. They got a meet and greet on the 22nd, a beard competition on the 23rd. The Dawg Days of Summer, July 22nd and 23rd. Then the July 31st, rounding out the month of July, the Kingsbury Family Meet. Hosted by the Bearded Villains Central England chapter, July 31st. If you're interested you're in the Central England area, hit up the chapter and go to the Kingsbury Family Meet, July 31st. Then into August we go for the World Meet in Chicago. The BVC boys, Bearded Villains Chicago, hosting the long-awaited Chicago World Meet. That's right, boys and girls, August 5th through the 7th. Be there or don't, but be there. August 5th through the 7th for the World Meet. It's going to be a blast. They've been working on this thing for years, literally. So can't wait. August 5th through the 7th, the World Meet. Then the weekend of September 9th through the 11th, we actually have 2 events. September 9th through the 11th, 2 events on the calendar. One is Battle of the Beards, hosted by the Southern Indiana Villains in Evansville, Indiana. Battle of the Beards, September 9th through the 11th. Then also September 9th through the 11th is Four Corners Meet. The Four Corners Meet, remember, is held in the conjoining spot of the Four Corners, which do your own geography if you don't know where that's at. It's in Cortez, Colorado. The Four Corners Meet is a BV meet for brothers only. Do not try to sneak anybody else in. It's kind of an outdoor campy trip. Awesome time for everybody that's been there before. I've unfortunately never been able to make it because old BP doesn't tent camp, and I don't have a camper otherwise. So September 9th through the 11th, the Four Corners Meet as well. Then September 23rd to the 25th. Is the East Coast Meet. Hosted by the Bearded Villains Southern Maryland chapter. It's in Baltimore, Maryland. There's an East Coast Meet chat, or just hit up the Bearded Villain boys, the Southern Maryland boys, for further information. It's in Baltimore, September 23rd to the 25th, ECM. Then into October we go. October 15th, the Rocket City Boys. I just got this date today. The Rocket City Boys are doing their Halloween. It'll be their second annual Halloween Bash. That's their Halloween-themed event with a beard contest and a costume contest. I think they're still planning on doing both. Like I said, I don't have the details, but Threeper just sent me the date today. October 15th. Don't have a specific location, but I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere in Alabama. October 15th. So hit them up if you're interested in that. And then if you like that same theme, up here in northern Indiana, October 22nd, to round out the month, October 22nd, the return of Ezra Crow. The return of Ezra Crow. In northern Indiana, it is my chapter's event that is the beard contest and costume contest, all the Halloween themes that you want. It's going to be a blast. It was awesome last year. We had some pretty amazing costumes come out. But yeah, October 22nd, come over, hit us up. We're going to have a blast. We're going to have a great time. If for some reason, guys, I did not include your event on the calendar, it's because I didn't have it. So I'm sorry. But hit me up if for some reason you need me to. I would love to get your thing on the calendar if I don't have it already. So if you have any details that I don't already have about another event, please let me know as well, because I need that stuff. All right, guys. Hey, we've had a good time tonight doing something different. Next week we'll be back to normal, talking BV stuff. But tonight, that's going to wrap up episode 137 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy those shirts, patches, pins, all that crazy good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com, theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. That's also where you're going to find all previous 136 episodes of this here show. And as we know, some of them are pretty bad, but others are great. So go find one and listen to it. Guys, I want to ask you to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. But the most important words I say every single week, and please remember them always. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So guys, for now, have a great night. Have a great Friday and a weekend ahead. Enjoy the week ahead, and I'll see you back here next Thursday night for episode 138. Take care. Stay safe.